I think, but if they have designed this baby for sex, it would be good if they can have 1:1.2. But who are those who are prepared for the 1.2 and who those are prepared to accept the 1? 1:1.2. In fact, Baitiangong itself, you must know, when we're talking 1:1.2, we're thinking of consciousness. But the designer baby on sex, it must also come 1:1.2, then acceptable. Remember that. The designer babies in sex means 1:1.2 acceptable. The designer babies is to design according to the wishes of the people, where there are more men than women, then don't accept. In Baitiangong, in fact, Baitiangong knew in advance designer's babies, to tell you. Do you realize that? You just think, when we're talking about 1:1.2, we are in fact talking about designer's baby ahead of time. For sex, ahead of time. In fact, Baitiangong is far ahead of time. In fact, Baitiangong, 76, 99, 23. So Baitiangong is 20 years advanced on designer's baby. On sex only, you know. On sex. Where we have sex, 1:1.2, you accept it. Where we have sex, where in the reverse, 2:1, then you're asking for trouble. 2 male to 1 lady, then you're asking for trouble. Remember that. Of course, maybe you can pray for consciousness to come into these people who are designing society by sex. If the society is to be designed by sex, then it should come 1:1. There should be more beyond that. And that must be clear. So Baitiangong is in advance of a designer's baby, you know, and then don't think that Baitiangong, we don't talk about designer's baby. We already talk about designer's baby in sex. Designers in sex, not in height, beauty, and hair. But of course, if you can have hereditary disease, knowing fully well that you have hereditary disease. If the hereditary disease, you can get the RNA, you know, the sperm's DNA to tell this part that should not multiply. Give the order. Like, of course, if you want a child, your husband and wife, and child comes out without looking, well, that's very good. That's, do you accept? Yeah, that's acceptable. But not to the stage where you designer's baby, you want the eyes, the hair, your intelligence for that matter, or intelligence for that matter. Intelligence and IQ, once you play with it, then you are creating, if you are not successful, you may create a master race, a killer race for that matter, a killer race. There's one word for it, the scientific word, you know, psychiatric word for killer, homicidal brain, kill, homicidal brain. You see, you may come to that stage. You play with intelligence. So you have to be very, very careful. Intelligence must come quite naturally. Let the brains develop naturally on intelligence. For in sex also pray for consciousness, for sex to come naturally, that we have more female than male on this level. That come naturally, more female. But if we have more male than female, then it's a problem. Lots of problems. First and foremost problem is frustration. Frustration leads to death, murder, robbery, manslaughter, passionate killing, all sorts of things. And that's serious matter. We have to give thought all these things.